welcome to Cleveland Clinic Courts today for a very special press availability for our Cavaliers #3 draft pick, Mr. Evan Mobley. On the dais you see head coach J.B. Bickerstaff, our general manager Kobe Altman, and the man of the hour, Mr. Evan Mobley. So we'll start the event with a brief comment from Kobe to start. We'll throw it to Evan, finish up with JB, and then we will open the floor for questions. Kobe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for coming. This is really a cool experience again, right? To have people back in the building and have a real press conference again. So we're excited to have you guys back to welcome Evan. First, I want to welcome the Mobley family. Mr. and Mrs. Mobley, at their core, are educators. They truly care about people, and they're teachers. And so we're really fortunate to have a special family in the Mobleys come to Cleveland and help us grow. Help us grow with how you know how to do, just being genuine and unique and really powerful in what you do every day. So we're thrilled to welcome the Mobley family. Joe Smith, his representation, they do an incredible job with their athletes, and we're really fortunate to have you as well here helping us out and helping Evan grow as well day to day. So thank you for being here. And this is a tremendous day for the Cavaliers organization. We are welcoming in a tremendous talent in Evan Mobley. And we're super fortunate. We were sitting at the 3rd pick, and I told my guys all the time, I was like, there's no way Evan Mobley gets to us at 3. That's how incredibly talented this young man is. So, without further ado, we would like to welcome Evan to Cleveland and give him his Cleveland Cavaliers jersey. Here we go.
Number 4, baby. You can turn it around. Let's go with my coach. You come on in the middle. Come on in the middle.
Turn around one more time there.
Absolutely, man. That's exciting. That's a true 7-footer too now. Yeah. Bring my chair back. Appreciate it.
With that, we will open it up for questions.
Few housekeeping rules for media. If you have a question, those of you seated in the media section, stand up and go to the microphone to ask your questions. Those of you on Zoom, raise your hand there, and I will call on you in those situations. So with that in mind, we'll go to our first question in person here, Chris Fedor.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, Evan, welcome to Cleveland. When did you get a sense, or did you get a sense, that the Cavs were interested throughout the process?
I feel like there was a lot of teams that were all interested in me coming into the draft, and I got a sense that this Cavs team was interested throughout the whole entire draft process.
And then for you, a couple of the guys in the class talked about just the brilliance of this class. It's going to go down, they think, as one of the better ones. For you being the 3rd pick and now coming to Cleveland, the highest draft pick that they've had in like 7 years, what do you make of the pressure and the expectations that come with being the 3rd overall pick?
I try not to focus on all the pressure. I just want to come here, do the best I can, and just get a lot of wins and hopefully become Rookie of the Year or get a lot of Rookie of the Months throughout this whole entire process.
So in no way do you feel that added weight of what comes with being a top 3 pick?
There's weight, definitely, but I try not to focus on that too much.
Thanks, man.
Kelsey.
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. Evan, nice to see you again. What has the last 12 hours been like since being in New York, being in Brooklyn, and hearing your name called, and then obviously getting here today? And what were your thoughts and feelings when you walked into Cleveland Clinic Courts this morning, or today?
The past 12 hours been crazy. A lot of media, a lot of crazy moments, my name being called, celebrations, all that. Not a lot of sleep. So it's just been amazing. When I came here, I saw the whole facilities and all that, and I just loved it here.
Has it sunk in yet to you that this is reality yet?
Yeah, it's gradually sinking in.
And then JB, what for you? Just kind of throughout this process and this draft process, and working obviously with Kobe, what did you like about Evan, and what really excites you about adding him to this roster?
Everything. That's an easy one. No, I mean, obviously, the most important thing is when you do your background and you talk to people you trust about Evan and his family. The most important thing is the type of people that they are, right? You can go to bat with people that you know are genuine, people that you know that care about more than themselves. And when you're building a team that has that type of character, you know, the chemistry grows more quickly. Their willingness to do more for one another grows more quickly. And that's how you translate to wins. So we started there. And again, you know, we're finding the world is smaller than we thought because we have a lot of close connections, you know, all the way through family members and things like that, where, you know, we were able to get a lot of great intel about the people that we're dealing with. And then obviously you throw in the skill set. I mean, you've got a guy who's 7 feet tall, who can handle the ball, who can pass the ball, who can play make, who can defend, you know, who can score. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on of his capabilities. But what it does is it gives you a ton of versatility as a coach. You know, we were having conversations earlier about the teams that win in this league and how they win. And you go back and look at it, the teams that win the paint typically are winning and successful teams on both ends of the floor. So when you throw in, you know, a guy like Evan with Jared and Isaac in our group, you know, they give you an opportunity to win the paint. And obviously that translates into success. So those are things that we're excited about. But again, the fun part for us as coaches is watching growth and, you know, helping young men become and reach their potential. And, you know, again, we've been given a heck of a beginning and a great opportunity with huge upside.
Thank you.
John.
John Rutter from News 5. Kobe, a quick question for you and then one for Evan. You said that you didn't think that he was going to be available for you at 3. When that moment sinks in that he's going to be there, what's the first thought that crosses your mind? And then was there a point in your process where you thought, this is my guy, and what made you come to that decision?
When we first jumped to 3, we knew immediately how much value the pick had because we got calls from around the league. And throughout the process, you get tons of different opportunities at 3. And as we're sorting through all these different opportunities, all these draft picks, all these different potential trades, I didn't see Evan Mobley in any of those. And so at 3, we were elated to be able to draft a young man of his potential. And I think his impact is going to be immediate. And, you know, we want to move this thing forward. We want to take a step forward next year. You know, we need to supplement with some good vets as well. But, you know, we have some high goals in mind for this young group that's super talented. And to be able to add Evan at 3, we're tremendously fortunate.
And then, Evan, a quick question. You heard Kobe say, adding you to the young group. What are you most excited about playing with this young core that they have in place here?
This young team is an amazing team. They're very young, as he mentioned, and athletic as well. And I feel like I fit those descriptions as well. So I'm just super excited to get out there and play with them, meet them all, Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, all of them. And I'm just excited to play with them.
Have you had a chance to interact with any of those guys? Sorry for one more quick follow-up.
Yeah, I talked to a few of them. They called me last night and stuff, so yeah.
Thank you.
Spencer.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. Hey, Evan, you just mentioned Darius and Colin, so A lot of people are asking what's going to be the fit with Jarrett, but with those two guards and your playmaking ability, just watching the film, what are you looking forward to the most with Darius and Colin as a passer?
I feel like me and Colin Sexton and Darius Garland are going to have a great chemistry on the floor. Me just making plays for them making plays for me, pick and roll actions, all that. I feel like we're just going to have a great dynamic duo, I guess, with all my teammates as well as Jared Allen.
And then as far as the rookie adjustment to the pros go, it's always the schedule comes really quickly and the adjustment to just the demand of it, but the physicality as well. So what's a way that you feel you can prepare for that physicality without being on the floor, obviously right away, and also to JB, how you can accumulate him to that, before the season starts?
I feel like just staying in the gym, practicing, working with the weight coach and all that will just help me develop my skill physically as well as mental focus as well, because I know the season is very long and mentally it can be draining.
I think, he's got an older brother who's a heck of a player too. So I bet their one-on-one games got a little physical as they were growing up. So I'm sure he's ready for it. But, again, with us, what we have to do is play him to his strengths. And people can't hit what they can't catch. So putting him in space, allowing him to use his speed, and those things can help him be successful. And, again, the league is set up where they've taken a lot of the physicality out of the game, right? They like to see skill, and they like to see guys be in attack mode. So Evan, with his ability to put the ball on the floor, can put a ton of pressure on defenses. So now if he puts the ball, he catches it at the elbow or the top of the key, and now he's straight line driving, right? Defensive players have to show their hands because they're not allowed to touch and not allowed to be physical and impede his progress. So we'll put him in a position where, his skill set is an advantage, and now the defense is at a disadvantage where they can't put their hands on him and touch him and be physical.
And JB brought up Isaiah. What was his reaction like to you getting picked? And obviously, what has he meant to you throughout your basketball career?
He was just super excited for me, smiling. Like that whole process with him growing up, all the competitions, all the one-on-ones, it really helped me because it definitely did get physical sometimes, and it was just great games. And he was a top player, I was a top player, so it was like kind of a competition of just like getting better. So it really helped me.
Thank you, guys.
Joe.
Excuse me, Joe G, Cavs.com. First question is for JB. JB, how'd you hurt your leg, and will you be ready for training camp?
Yeah, this is an old injury that just, I kept pushing it off, and finally decided it was time to get it right. So this summer I took the time to get it right. And I've got the crutches, and I got a cool little scooter back there that I don't mind riding around the court and chasing people down with either. So one way or another, I'll be ready to go.
Okay, thanks. Evan, welcome to Cleveland. By all accounts, you're a soft-spoken guy, a quiet guy. How would your folks, your friends, your teammates, how would they describe you as a person?
I feel like they would describe me as like a mellow, chill guy. Not a man of too many words, but I definitely am like outgoing and talk a lot when I want to. So I feel like that's like how they would mostly describe me.
And you've kind of been on Cleveland's radar, it seems like, mock drafts for weeks now. Has that given you a chance to kind of do some homework on Cleveland and the team and the city, things like that?
Yeah, I've done a little homework. I still need to get a little acclimated a little more, but I've done a little bit.
Thanks, Evan.
Chris.
Evan, you mentioned that some of the new teammates reached out to you. What was their message?
They were just welcoming me to the city, just congratulating me on the night. There's not like too much of a message behind it, just like bringing me in and welcoming me.
And JB, for you, what's going on, by the way? Good to see you
Yeah,
in person
minute.
again.
Right.
Kobe said last night that Evan was your top guy throughout the process. True or false?
That's true.
It,
It's true.
what was it about him specifically that really stood out to you?
I mean, it's the combination of size and skill. Oh, my bad. Coach me up, PJ. All right. It's the combination of size and skill. You just don't see that regularly. You know, when you, again, put a guy in a 7-foot frame, and I love just watching the passes that he makes. You know, like when he puts the ball on the floor, you know, again, most typical 7-footers, they see the floor and they see the rim. And when I watched him play, when he put the ball on the floor, he saw where the defense was first and how that created open areas for his teammates. And again, that's just rare for a guy his size and at his age to be able to do those things. And then, you know, I'll go back to the old school, like he plays defense, you know, and he takes pride in defending and getting stops and shutting people down. So, you know, you mix that all together and, you know, that's my kind of guy.
You know, there's been so much conversation in recent years about the value of the big guy and whether the value of the big guy has kind of diminished. What is the value of having somebody like Evan, a switchable defender, somebody who really is essentially matchup proof in this era?
I think history has shown us that size and skill beats small and skilled. If you go back, you know, just recently, obviously with the Lakers team, right? They had big guys, and then they threw Anthony Davis at the 4, who was skilled, and their size helps, but they got to have that skill. They got to be able to play make. They got to be able to pass. They got to be able to shoot. So if you can accumulate enough of that, you can overcome everybody wanting to go and play small ball basketball. You know, he gives us that opportunity because he can switch. A lot of guys, you know, when it comes to the end of the game, big guys can't play, right? We're fortunate enough in Evan and Jarrett that we have 2 big guys that can switch on guards and keep guards in front of them. That gives them an opportunity to stay on the floor at the end of the game. They both also have a skill set. So if you decide that you want to switch and throw small guys on them, we'll just throw the ball up in the air, play jump ball, and let those guys go tip it in. So I think we're fortunate with the guys that we have, and obviously with Evan and the combination of him and Jarrett together.
And then, Evan, last thing for you. You know, I've spoken to you now a couple of times in the last week or so, and everybody does say that you're quiet, you're reserved, but you also speak with an aura of confidence. Where does that stem from? Is that something that you've always had? Is that something that you've kind of grown into recently?
I feel like I always had confidence in myself. The way I portray myself out to people, I feel like some people may not see it or not, but I always have confidence in myself. I'm a very confident person, so.
Thank you.
Kelsey.
This one's for either JB or Kobe, or both. Last year we talked so much about defense and needing to build that up and everything, and you made moves obviously last year, but with that continuing and adding Evan, I guess what is your approach and your outlook on where you guys want to be defensively, especially this year?
I'll just say something real quick, which has been amazing for our culture that you know, JB's done a remarkable job of building here. Is last week we had 9 guys in our gym working out in Cleveland in the middle of summer because they wanted to be here, and that's the culture that JB has created here. The one guy that won't leave is Isaac Okoro. All he cares about is being in the gym and getting better, and he's defensive first. He's working on his skill set. He has a lot to offer this team, but he won't leave this gym, and that's another one of JB's favorites. So I'll pass it to you on Isaac, but add Isaac with Jared and Evan, we got a chance.
Yeah, again, you know, at the end of the day, and we talk about, you know, these championship teams in the playoffs, and, you know, during the regular season, it's points, but you look in the playoffs, and all that comes to a screeching halt, right? These games get tighter, each possession becomes more important, and you have to figure out a way to stop your opponent. You know, so this group that, you know, Kobe and the staff has put together puts us in a position to be extremely successful on that end of the floor. You know, we're excited about some of the things that we can do with these 2 guys. You know, you sit at home and you're laying in bed and you just start thinking about all the things that you can do, the different positions that you can put the guys in, you know, how you can always have a 7-foot rim protector in the paint, you know, for 48 minutes. A lot of teams don't have the ability to do that. And then mess around, and now you got two of them standing in the paint. Now you're talking about your zone defense and what it looks like. But not only that, both of them have the capabilities of rotating on the perimeter. So now there's just so many things that you can do while one of them's rotating and the other one's standing in the paint just waiting on the ball if it happens to get by. There's just a lot of things that you can do in a lot of ways. You can be creative. Again, our base is the most important thing. The pride on that end of the floor is even more important, and the buy-in. So we're excited about what we can do. It gives us an opportunity to experiment and tinker with some things. But again, we're afforded certain things that other teams just don't have because of the guys that Kobe and the staff have brought in.
And Evan, one for you. When you were younger and you were playing against your older brother, when did that idea and that dream of being in the NBA, being an NBA player, really just, solidify for you? And as you grew up, in either middle school, high school, when did that sort of seem like it would be a reality for you?
I feel like it was always there. Me and my brother always said we wanted to be in the NBA. And we also used to think about it, talk about it all the time. So it was always there. I would probably say in high school, I felt like I could really make a real chance to getting to the NBA. That's when it really started solidifying that I have a real chance of getting here.
Thank you.
Our next question will come via Zoom. Jeff Phelps.
Thank you. Evan, JB talked about your unique skill set for a guy of your size. Where did that come from? Was it being the son of a coach, the younger brother of a basketball player, or a late growth spurt? Where did that come from?
I feel like all the things you just mentioned, it came from all those combined. Me growing up, I played up a lot, so I had to be a guard a lot of the times because I wasn't always the tallest because I was playing up with my brother. And then also having my dad as a coach, he taught me a lot of guard skills. Growing up, had a good fundamental and good base. And as I kept growing and got taller, that just stayed with me, and that's how I am the player I am today.
Thank you.
Back to Spencer.
Evan, do you feel like because you're 7 foot that a lot of people pigeonhole you as somebody that's bigger and is expected to be like a center? You just mentioned those skills that you had. Do you feel like you're pigeonholed, a little underestimated in what you can do on the floor?
A little bit. So I feel like I'm a little underestimated sometimes, but I'm just here to prove all of them wrong.
Okay. We have any other questions from in-person media? Anything out in Zoom land? Well, if not, thanks everybody for coming out. And you got who? I'm sorry, we do have one more. Rafa?
Rafa Hernandez, Cavs Spanish Radio. Evan, welcome to Cleveland. I have a couple of questions for you. The first one, do you have any experience playing with some of your new teammates before in the past?
Yes, I play with Isaac Okoro with USA Basketball. So we won a gold medal together.
And just in case you don't know, the Cavs are one of 5 teams that broadcast the games in Spanish, all 82 games on location. So you being a California kid, the most important question today is, how's your Spanish? We're always looking for pre-game and post-game guests.
My Spanish is okay. I took Spanish in high school, but it's not that good.
You practice it a lot this season, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, take 2. Any more questions from inside? Last one to Joe G.
All right, last one real quick. I got to ask one more family question as long as you got your folks here. What's the all-time record, you and your brother? Who's on top on that one?
I would say me. But
Would he say you?
Yeah, he would say different.
All right. Thanks, Evan.
Okay, everybody, thank you. That's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you all for coming out.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.